Hello everyone, I'm so excited to be here with you today. Welcome back to my channel, Nicki Hearts Cards. Today we are going to create lots of fun stuff with the new release from Altenew. We're going to be using a cover plate and we're going to use it 3 different ways because I want you to be able to stretch your plates. And so I've got 3 different ways. You must see the last one. It's a really fun idea. But we're going to be making some Mother's Day cards. We're going to be making some friend cards. And we've got lots of fun stuff for here. I do want you to welcome in the chat. My mom popped in as a special Mother's Day. So just say hey to my mom. My mom is Cindy McClendon. And she's out there just, I told her, I said, you may want to see this. This is probably your Mother's Day present next year, but you may want to pop in and just see all the inspiration that you created. So she may be out there too. All right, so we are gonna, tell me in the chat where you're popping in from. I would love to hear all of that. I also want to hear if you've looked at the new Altenew release. All right, let me grab what we're gonna be working on today. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek. We also have an exclusive coupon. And so our exclusive coupon is for Altenew. It is only for, so I want y'all to be ready. This is only until midnight on Sunday. So basically through the end of Mother's Day. So I will show you all that stuff in just a minute. But let me go to the overhead camera and we will look a little bit at these projects. One I'm keeping completely secret. I don't think I put it out on social media, maybe real quick on social media, but I'm gonna keep one secret until the end. So let me go to my overhead cam and pop my face back up. All right, let's see here. So we are going to be using this cover plate, Alhambra Mosaic. So this is a new cover plate for Altenew this season. They don't do cover plates every single release, but when they do, it's a fun pattern that you can use lots of different ways. So we're going to be making this beautiful card. We are going to make this beautiful card, which has a secret. Can you hear the secret? There's a secret to that one. And then we're going to create a cool background. I promise we're going to create an amazing, beautiful card with here. So we will go through these. We're going to start with this top one. I will, when we do the replay, I will make sure to put chapters so you can catch each card. So if you miss one, you can go back and watch it. So let's see. Rachel's in the chat for us today. Altenew is actually may pop in at some point, but Rachel and I will try to do most of the answering of questions if there is anything. So we're going to start with this plate. These die cuts can be a little bit tricky. So I wanted to take you through some like tips and tricks on how to use them because look at how many little pieces they're going to be. It is going to be a lot of extra little pieces and sometimes it's hard to get them to cut well. So I'm going to show you my sandwiches and what she does, what you do with those. I'm trying to read that. I see my mom is chatting. So if you're just joining in, make sure you drop where you're coming from. I saw Texas. I think I saw San Antonio, maybe San Diego. Oh yeah. So Rachel and I will be on the chat as much as we can. Remember, if you have a question, to put a huge, in all caps, question, and then write what it is so that I can catch it. Because as these roll by, sometimes I can grab them, sometimes I can't. So let's look at the colors we're going to use for this. I'm going to pull a few things over here. We are going to use a lot of cardstock today. But for this first one, I'm going to use these 2, Heartbeat and Vineyard Berry. They are just really bright reds, and I love how they come together with some of our fun stuff. So let me grab those pieces. I actually pre-cut them. Y'all be so proud of me. I pre-cut my pieces today so that we can show you, get right into the die cutting. All right, so Heartbeat and Vineyard Berry, all this will be in the supply list, but if you're looking for some great reds, this Heartbeat is a really bright, nice red, really good on Christmas. I also really love the Vineyard Berry, but look at the difference in these 2. And what they're gonna do together is they're gonna make it look like we have a light shining behind our cover plate. So let me show you how I created that. Let's not lose the cover plate in the process. The other thing that we'll be using today for the flowers, in case you have this set, is we're going to be using flowers and flourishes. Okay, this is a new Altenew set that's got a really nice large floral that can take up the whole card, which is nice. So it gives you that really big statement floral, which is nice. So here we go. We are going to cut today. So what I'm going to do to make that bold shine back, this is going to be the background. This is what we're cutting. So let me show you how I'm going to cut it. And we may have to cut it a couple times because it really does take some pressure. I'm going to use this bigger one. But when cutting these, I would recommend taping this because I cut my piece of paper so close in size. I would recommend taping them together. So I tend to fit them together like this and then use a little piece of tape just to barely hold them together. You don't want much. Let me actually do a thinner tape. We'll do this little bit thinner tape. Sorry, Nick McClellan. And you don't have to do this. You got a magnetic mat. It's no problem. So tell me, who has made like an all red card before? This all red card, this red, is my mom's absolute favorite. So that's why we're doing this one. Like I said, she won't get this one. This is kind of her, I guess we could say this is her Mother's Day live stream, but she's not going to get this card probably till next year. She got another one coming. All right, so I'm going to do this, but I'm going to add one extra piece of scrap paper just to give it a little bit more pressure to make sure that it cuts. So this is just a scrap piece of paper, and then I'm going to put it through here. Yes. All right, so let's send this through. Let me go here. Tell me, have you ever used a cover plate? Put yes or no in the chat for me. And I'm going to run this through the cover plate while y'all answer. Run it through the die cutting machine, you know what I mean. Okay, let's see how we did. And I'm going to show you my trick to getting all these pieces out. Okay, looks like we got it all cut. I'm going to undo my piece of tape. And then I'm going to drop this plate. And I know this is going to make a mess, but I think the easiest way to get all the pieces out is to drop it. So we're going to just do a little drop. And it's going to be on my desk, you'll see. But I'll scrape it off onto this piece of paper. So I kind of think doing something like this look at how all the pieces come out. So just drop it. Cover plates are wonderful. You see what I mean? Like I'm just getting all these little pieces. Let's see if we do it again. Just drop it a few times on your desk and all your pieces come out. Now tell me, does anybody else do that? I think somebody in a live stream, do you see how many pieces I'm talking about? Look at all these little mini pieces. Could be great little things for your shaker cards. And there'll be some we have to punch out, I'm sure, but dropping it is just an easy way to get most of those pieces out. So let's get this out of here and see how we did just by dropping it. I'll lift it up. Yeah, look at that. I got almost every single piece out of there. Those teeny tiny, so look at this pile and it's just dropping. So don't do all the work of sitting here and poking. There are usually a few little pieces we got to poke out, especially these teeny little dots. You see those dots? Those do not want to come out. But I would always suggest with a cover plate, you can run it through one time and see what happens, but I'd always suggest adding an extra piece of paper to your sandwich so that you can get a little bit more pressure to get all these details, especially if it's as detailed as this. This is a super detailed plate. So yeah, so who's ever heard of dropping their plate like that? I kind of think one of y'all gave me the idea one time in a, I think I was doing craft roulette and somebody's like, just drop it on the floor if you can't get it out. And I thought, well, I don't want to drop it on the floor because then I'm going to lose the die. So I've just started dropping them on my desk and I was pretty shocked at how well it works, because this plate could take you a long time if you're punching out all of those little holes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to punch out these last few little ones just so we get a good cut next time from the plate, some of the big ones. And then I'm gonna scrape them all into a little container off my desk and toss them in the trash. If you wanted to keep them for shaker parts, you definitely could do that. We got tons of them. So let me scrape these off. I think my mom's chatting. So if you're just joining in, we have an exclusive coupon today, and it is going to be for Altenew. I'm going to go ahead and show you what that is on while I start assembling this background, and then we're going to do some fun stamping, and we're going to kind of stamp for all the cards at once, and I'm going to show you some tips for that. So for this, you could do, see how I still have that little piece of tape on there? Doesn't matter. You can leave it on if you want to. For this type of thing, it's so detailed in the center that you could do something like a tape runner and just try to make sure it's not through that. But for this one, I know I'm going to be putting flowers over it. And so I would put flowers over it and then not worry about your center being super glued down. We may put a couple of dots of glue, but we're mainly going to glue around the edges and just a few little dots in the middle. I don't think you need to go through the detail of putting dots on every little thing. So Deb says, how is a cover plate different than a die cut? So a cover plate is a die cut that goes over, that's made to fit on the front of a card, the whole thing. So it cuts out the card. See how it's cut? It cuts out my lines and it cuts through and makes a pattern on that. So it's basically a really big die cut, but it can be used for so many different things that we definitely want to look at this. It is deceiving as how many things you can do with it. So I want to show you a few different ways, because a lot of times, you know, die cuts are expensive, and so you want to make sure you're investing in ones that you can do multiple things with. So I just wanted to take you through that. Here we go. We're going to do just a little glue around the edges, and we'll do a few glue drops here, and I'll answer questions. Yeah, so this is a full A2 panel. It's going to cover this whole cardstock. And you could flip it on either side. This technically is the correct side in that that's how it was cut, but you could flip it over if you want to, if you like that texture better. So I'm going to be gluing really quick. Let's see what else. Tell me in the comments if you do own cover plates. Tell me, just drop the number that you think you have in your stash. So I'm just going to do some dots around it and a few dots through the middle. Nothing major. Okay, so question from, hang on, I'm going to see if I can catch that question. I saw there's a question about vinyl. Let me see if I can scroll. I'm sorry, I'm just looking for that question. Eileen, if you will pop in that vinyl question again, that would be great. I can't seem to find it very quickly. So just pop it in again. I'll be looking for you up here while I glue. Okay, so Sharon says she has maybe 6 or 8 cover plates. Nice. Like I said, I'm just barely dotting. Just doing a few through here just to make sure I got it. Okay. Oh my goodness, Polly says she has like 50 cover plates. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're really fun. So I'm just going to glue this down. I'm going to use an acrylic block to hold it because it's a big portion to glue. So I'm going to do this to kind of hold everything down. I love this huge acrylic plate. I need to put that on my favorites list for Rachel. Let me let that sit there, and while it's sitting there, let me show you what our coupon is for, and I'll have Rachel pop it in. Let me see. So, okay, the question was, I'm new to this, and I wonder if you consider using heat transfer material or permanent vinyl on cards. I think you could do that. I don't use a Cricut machine or a vinyl machine very often because I tend to use die cuts to cut things. And to me, sometimes the transfer paper, you got to be careful it doesn't stick to the cardstock. It just kind of depends on what you're working with. And so I tend to not use that on cards as much, but there are a lot of people who do. So I think that's perfectly fine. So what we've got on sale today, I guess since we're using so much cardstock, this is how this ties in. We've got these folders, and I know I've got my camera zoomed in, so let me try to show you sideways. These are the Altenew paper folders. They're for organization, and they have a flap on them. They can hold a couple of packs, but they're usually kind of at a price point that you cannot, like I have probably 10 of these, but their price point is a little bit high. But today, for this exclusive coupon, if you're picking up stuff today, make sure that you grab these because you can get 50% off a 10 count and you can try them out, and they are so sturdy. I love Altenew's folders. Their plastic is a great weight, and it really does a good job. So you will see that I have stuff in its original packaging, and then I have a few of these, mainly because of price point, but that today we don't have quite as much of. So you can always check that and add it to your cart. The code that Rachel is putting in the chat is something that you can click on, and it will automatically add the code to your cart. Make sure you use my affiliate link if you're not using that direct code. And then today, I think they have for Mother's Day, I think they have like you buy a $100 gift card, you get 10. So be a great thing to just throw in your cart. I'll set mine back here. Okay, let's get back to, we've got to do some stamping. So I want to show you what I did with this stamping, which I'll put right here. So we're going to use a stamp wheel, and we're going to stamp, since we're making multiple cards with these flowers today, we're going to stamp all of them and the sentiments at one time. So I'm using the large stamp wheel, and I cut this piece of paper to 8.5 by 8.5, and you see it fits with just a little bit here. So it gives you a lot of room to do a lot of stamping. So let's look at those beautiful florals. I'm gonna see. Thank you. It looks like Rachel's popping that in the chat for you. Okay, y'all tell me, what do you usually drink when you're crafting? Are you like a coffee, tea, Coke? I'd like to hear what you do. Or do you snack? I like to have some caffeine when I'm crafting. So y'all got this. 8.5 by 8.5 is what fits inside the Stamp Wheel 2.0. This is a stamping platform. If you haven't seen it before, I'll kind of show you a few things about it, but we'll just be using it to do our floral stamping. So let me grab that beautiful floral. So we're going to be stamping a few things today. I don't know if you saw this set, this Wholehearted Sentiments. We're going to be using that Happy Mother's Day a couple times. And I really like these as well. These are blacked out so that the white shows through. So if you stamp it in black, you're going to see the white words on this. And I used this for several things too. So since we're doing so many cards, we're going to do 2 stamps of this. We're going to do a couple of Happy Mother's Day. We're going to do some of these sentiments. So we've got a few things we'll stamp out here. And this set, Flower and Flourishes, you will see that on my blog post today. I've got one on there where I did this all in blue. I did the little small flower. Looks really nice. So it's a really cool set. This is one of their new ones. Okay. So we're going to use this large flower. And we're going to do 2 of these. And with a stamp wheel, you can often put, it just kind of depends. Let me play with it a little bit. Sometimes you can put it here, and then let's just make sure it fits, and then turn it around and stamp it there. So you don't have to reposition. I'm going to move it in just a little bit so it doesn't hit the edges of the paper. We'll double check. Just always double check before you start stamping. So we got here. And we got here. It's my center. I always like to double check that I'm not going past center. Here. So we can put 2 here, and then we can also do our Happy Mother's Day like that, because I want 2 Happy Mother's Days. So I'm going to go ahead and set them up as well. So we're gonna use Happy Mother's Day. I need to see in there, how many Mother's Day cards did you make this year? And you want to give yourself enough room that you'll be able to die cut these things out, okay? So leave yourself enough room and a gap right here so that you're going to be able to die cut them. But you see how I can do it here? And then I can rotate around to here, and we're going to have both of those things stamped. So we're going to start with those two, and then I'm going to add a couple more little sentiments. So, and you could do it if you want to do it like this and like this to keep it easy. Yeah, you just have to play with the rotation. Okay, so we are going to stamp, and we are going to heat emboss to just make sure that we don't get any fading of our lines. So if you're going to heat emboss like I'm doing, you need to start with a powder. 20 Mother's Day cards, Debbie? That's awesome. Yeah, my kids always make me Mother's Day cards. The craft room is always in a bit of a state after that. But I appreciate them trying, and I think they're some of the cutest. Like, I'd much rather have that than another type of card. Now, if this is your first live stream with me, make sure that you put like comment with like all hearts in your thing, and then I can kind of call you out. I know, I think it's my mom's first live stream. So I don't know if she knows how to do emojis. If not, just write heart, heart, heart. Okay, so we got it nice and done here. We're gonna double check our turn. Should be good this way. So if you see, it looks like I may have changed my rotation, but that's because there's this little dot at the top, and it helps me keep track of which way I'm rotating. So we're gonna keep that dot at the top. It's not how I originally set it up, but here we go. Okay, let's add some ink, and then we're gonna add some clear embossing, which I do need to grab out of a drawer. So tell me, while I'm grabbing clear embossing, tell me, did y'all, oh, Stephanie put up, yay! Okay, so Tracy, yay! Welcome, first time. Marion, welcome. Stephanie, yay! I see Monica, thank you. I'm so glad to have all of you here on this live stream. We do have an exclusive Altenew coupon code, so stay tuned. There will be a replay with chapters if you need to get to a shorter version of one of the cards. Forgot to get out my clear heat embossing. So we're gonna use clear over black, and that's just to keep our lines from running. So I'm just gonna start with some black ink. Here we go. So we'll start with this set. Jan says yes, love, yay. Yeah, homemade, especially from your family members. I think, like, from my boys, it's just super sweet to have a homemade card from them. They probably don't want me advertising they do that because they are teenagers, but it's kind of nice. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I stamp this a couple times because I need this ink to stay wet. It does stay wet for a little while, but I just want to make sure. So I'm going to stamp it a couple times and get a good, nice image, and then we'll go around and we'll stamp the others. Okay. So I know that's going to be upside down for you, but don't worry, I'm about to do the top part. And I got my camera a little too zoomed. Oh, good, Carla. Thank you. Oh, hi, Tony. Okay, so now we are going to add ink, and we're going to spin it around, okay? So add some more ink. We'll do our other side. So we're using, it's called, what is the name of this set? Flowers and Flourishes. So I'm going to try to have my, oh, can y'all see that? Let me move it down just a bit. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay, and I'll stamp that one more time. Got a little bit on here. Forgot to get my water today to wipe things off. Oh, look at all these hearts. Are all of y'all here for the first time? Yay! So glad to have you. Sorry. Again, I got a little crazy with that stamp, so I'm going to get some of that off. Okay, now once I've got these stamped, I'm going to do a few of the smaller sentiments that we're going to use, but I wanted to make sure that I got room. I knew I could get these big ones that we really need on here, but let's see if we can get our smaller ones on here too. Yeah, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you, Rachel. And remember, we are having an exclusive coupon code today. It is a quick one, so you've got to get that in your cart before the end of the weekend. If you're not on my newsletter list to get reminders about live streams, you definitely want to check that out as well. Okay, so we have all of this stamped out. Awesome. Now we got to do just a couple of these. I'm going to do this, blessed to have you in my life. I'm going to do that one twice. We'll see how that goes. So I'll show you how this solid stamp works. Where could it go? Will it fit there? I think it's going to fit right here. It's cutting it close, but it'll fit. I'm maximizing our space here. Okay, so we'll do this one. And with this one, you don't want to press too hard with the ink. You want to just kind of lay it on the top because you don't want it to get in the little holes that are for the words. So just don't be really pushing it in. That'll help. Okay, let me move my camera up here. Okay, see how cool that looks? I'm going to do that one more time. And then I hope I can rotate it. Maybe I got this spacing just right and can rotate it. We'll see. You never know on a live. Okay. So are you a soft or a bold Mother's Day card person? Ooh, I think that's still going to work right there. Yeah. So I can go ahead and stamp it up top. Whoops, you see I stamped it up top with what was left over, and then I'll just add a little bit of ink. And then we'll be done with this. We can put some clear heat embossing on it, and we'll be good. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at all that. And we've got all these things already stamped out, so we don't have to worry about them later. I'm going to set this aside, go ahead and get my clear heat embossing on here since it's been a second. This is on a sticky plate. Okay, so I see a lot of soft. I see a couple of bold. We're definitely going to do one of each today because I know there's a, you know, generally I would say that my Mother's Day cards are softer, but my mom is a huge red fan, so she loves bright colors, so mine are bright. Okay, now this, I know I only got a small little thing, so we're gonna slowly do this, and I'm sure I'm gonna make a mess with this heat embossing powder, but we'll do it. So I see some soft, bold. Hi, Nancy. Okay. And so where the ink is wet, it's going to grab this embossing powder. But because I only have a little coffee filter, be careful with that. And then one more to cover up. Now, anytime you're doing embossing powder on something this big, you want to look around, especially that clear, and just see if you have it. So I see that I have a little spot right here that has some extra. Let me pick this up carefully. Put it back in here. Okay, clean and simple. That's good. I like clean and simple Mother's Day cards as well. Soft, bold. Yeah, I'm kind of one of those who likes them all. It's always a fun time to use your, I'm just going to have to blow on that part right there. I'm actually going to use a little bit of this to get it off. So I know you can't see it because it's clear, but there's just a little bit of extra stuff right here. So I'm just using a paintbrush to kind of unstick it from here. And most of it, it doesn't really matter because we're going to be doing a lot of coloring over these. So I'm going to do my heat tool, which you'll still be able to hear me on the microphone, but it might pick up just a little bit. So while I'm heating, tell me, what should I say? Let me think. I know, sorry, I'm trying to think. So tell me, yes or no, do you tend to craft with groups of people, or do you tend to craft alone? And I'll count crafting during a live stream as crafting with a bunch of people. I'm gonna get this nice and hot, so we'll hang on here. And then we're gonna do some interesting ink blending with this because I wanted to make these flowers like really stand out. So we're gonna do some fun ink blending with it. Okay, I see a lot of alone, yeah. I guess I craft mostly alone. And then with y'all, I'd say probably 25% of my crafting is with y'all on live streams, maybe 10%. Let's go 10. But I do love going to like Simon Says Create and that kind of stuff and getting to craft with other people too, because you just learn little tips from them that you don't even think about. Okay, so let's talk about how I'm restamping without getting it blurry. So that is, I think, Rosario. So I am using a stamp platform, which helps me realign my stamps versus doing like an acrylic block. So if you have something that keeps your stamp in place, it's a lot easier. So I got two ways that I keep a stamp in place, and I'll show them both to you, is using that platform and using a sticky mat to hold on to your piece of paper, because any movement will make that stamp off. And so for me, the Altenew stamp wheel is the little product that I've been using that I really love. It works so nicely. Oh yeah, Joyce is still alone unless she's hanging out watching me. Oh hey, thanks. Good to have you, Emailer. It might be Emmy, I don't know. Or Emily. Can't tell what your name says, I'm sorry. Okay, so we got this nice, you see how it went from that dull color to now it's all nice and shiny? Now we've got our beautiful flowers for our next two cards. So now we get to play with some ink blending. So let me show Rosario what I was using to keep my stamping in place, but let me wipe off my counter space really quick because I have a little bit of embossing powder here. I need my little, I forgot my my microfiber today, so it might just be a little bit gritty there. Yeah, I completely forgot it today, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna use my hand for that. So what I use to do this is this stamp platform. And the way that works is, see, all the stamps are on this acrylic that you spin, and it fits in notches here. So if you are stamping, you fit it in the notches, and as long as it's in the notches, it's in the exact same place. The other key is that it has a sticky mat right here. This is sticky, it holds onto the paper, so the paper does not move on you, which is really helpful. So, and then I can just wipe these off really quick. I'm gonna actually spray them with some water and spray my plate and just wipe it off. Oh, good, Eileen. That sounds like a good Mother's Day present. So yeah, so I don't know if y'all are like me, but do you buy your own Mother's Day presents most of the time? Because if you do, there's a lot of crafty deals this weekend. So definitely go shopping for yourself. Get yourself something fun and exciting as a Mother's Day present, whether you're just a mom at heart or have a bunch of kids or have fur babies, whatever you got. Okay, got all that wiped off. Still gonna set it aside over here for now. And I'll put this over there as well, so it's out of our way. Then we can trim this. So, where did the rest of it? So I'm gonna use the die cuts and we're gonna trim some of these things out. So I have die cuts for the flowers. I also have die cuts for these sentiments. So we're gonna get these trimmed so that we can do a little bit easier ink blending, because we're gonna take one completely bold and we're gonna take one very pastel. So I want to make sure that I've got both of them. Now when I'm die cutting things like this, I usually go, even though I'm die cutting it out, I usually cut around each area so that I don't send, so it fits through my die cutting machine, and also just so that I'm not like crumbling or getting little marks on the other parts. Sometimes you just need to do that a little bit. And I also, I'm gonna see if I can get it to fit through, I'll fit it through my large one. So I've got a couple different die cutting machines. We're gonna put it on this large one. And I need my scissors, but I don't see my scissors. Y'all know I always have like huge scissors around. Here they are. Okay. So we're gonna do bold colors first for this Mother's Day card so we can match that red. And we're gonna mix in, we're not just gonna do red flowers, we're gonna mix in some complementary colors. Okay. Let's die cut this piece and then we'll die cut the other piece. And you can do several at a time, it's fine. But I'm gonna get this ready for this one. What's nice about this is it's a magnet, so it holds it down. These Mother's Day sentiments come with some things that cut them out as well, which is very helpful, especially for these cute lines like this. So I've got a little rectangle die that I can use. So tell me what your plans are for the weekend. Sorry for my head in there. Tell me your plans for the weekend. Are you, sorry, I need to look at that a little bit better. Are you having barbecues? Are you crafting all weekend? What's everybody up to this weekend? Okay, I'm gonna send these two through. Aloha, ooh, Hawaii, nice. Okay, so we got these two. We'll cut these others and we're gonna get to ink blending. I'm gonna use some really fun colors. Look at how cute that is. Oh, I love it. I love it. I need to sit it somewhere where I'm not gonna lose it over here. I think I might be slightly off on this flower. Yeah. And then we got our florals. So see how this is gonna cover this so well? We're gonna bring this white piece of paper, this white, to life. Y'all are gonna love this ink blending. It is so fun. Okay, let's cut out our other two. Sorry, sometimes my camera just switches to me. It's like it just wants to say hi. Ooh, family brunch, that sounds good. I hope you don't have to cook. That'd be good. So we'll cut out this one. I'm gonna try to do Happy Mother's Day on this one. Okay, here we go. Let's line these up again. That means you might see my head in here. Okay. I saw some brunches, grilling. Ooh, yum. That sounds good too. I am getting to go to a dinner and a movie tonight We have been trying to get into this place in Knoxville that's supposed to be is really good, and it's like impossible to get reservations, and we finally got some reservations, and it happens to be Mother's Day. I couldn't believe it. So we're gonna have lots of fun. Anybody seen any good movies lately? Ooh, painting. Sip and paint today. That sounds good, Marion. Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting taken out for a nice Mother's Day. Oh, that's awesome, Jan. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to send this one through carefully. Okay, and then we just got one more Mother's Day to cut out. So we got our Happy Mother's Day. This is going to go on 2 of our cards. You don't have to use Happy Mother's Day. I know we're running a little behind, but I'm just giving you some inspiration and wanted to make sure we got this one in before Mother's Day actually got here. So we're having the live stream this weekend. I really like that we've got some stamps like that as well, just to have as options. So we just need one more Mother's Day, and then we're going to get to ink blending. I'm going to ink blend these flowers in reds, pinks, yellows. It's going to look cool. All coordinating colors. And then we're going to do a little something different with the leaves, just to not distract from my beautiful red. We're going to make some gray leaves, which may be a little different, but it's going to look good. Okay. Yeah, Rachel's popping in the coupon. Oh, Donna, I think that's what I'm going to see. Are you a Michael Jackson fan? I think I'm going to see that on, I think that's what we're going to go see tonight. I bet my mom has seen that if she's in here. It looks like it's going to be so good. And tell me what you bought yourself for Mother's Day, because I have a feeling many of you did. I want to see let's give each other some ideas. I definitely suggest going shopping at Altenew this weekend, at least buying yourself a gift card, because if you buy yourself a gift card, you get $10 back. It's like their special thing, so it's kind of like 10% off. And then you got, instead of $100, you got $110 that you can spend. Super fun. All right, let me put these up. And then we're going to ink blend. I'm going to use my sticky mat. If you have been on my live streams, you know that I have a sticky mat that I use all the time. So we're going to be using that. And just in case you're wondering what the name of the stamp set is, this is Wholehearted Sentiments Mother's Day Edition. It has a lot of Mother's Day, but it also just has some really good sentiments in it that I am liking. Like, blessed to have you in my life, which works perfect for friends cards. You inspire me every day. You're the heart of our family. Thank you for everything you do and for always being there. I mean, that can go on anybody's card. It's a really great one. So I'm going to put these stamps back up too. Put these on this so that I don't lose them. And then we will blend. If you're blending along or trying out some flowers like this, I'm going to be using the same, I'm going to show you how the same set of 4 inks can create a pastel card, or it can create this crazy bold card. So we're going to use the same set of 4 inks, but we're going to use them differently and use some different brushes to create different, fun, exciting stuff. Hi, Diane. Are you new to our thing? Is that where you put hearts? Oh, yay! Sandy got herself an Empress. That's a type of die cutting machine that I have. I love it. All right, so let me put down these Mother's Day things, and we're going to grab our flowers, and we're going to grab our inks, and we are going to create some beautiful, beautiful looks, okay? So this is my sticky mat. This is my well-worn one. I advise having one for red If you want it to stay the right color, if you're going to be using reds, you need to have one sticky mat. That's your red and purple. So we're going to be doing some reds. So let's get out some ink blending brushes. I'm going to use some special ones today too. So let me show you the colors that we're going to use. So we're going to use this set of 4. You know how Altenew has 4. We're going to use this set of 4. But on this one, I'm just going to take the bottom 3. And then on the next set, we're going to use mainly the top 2. So we're going to kind of adjust in here and show you how different the flowers can look. Joyce said no. I'll be excited. Oh, good, Jen. Yeah, make sure you use my coupon code and my affiliate link. Affiliate links are something that supports me and does not cost you anything. We're going to start with some yellow centers. Okay, I'm going to use chamomile, maybe a little snapdragon. We're going to use these 2 for the centers. So we're going to start with the centers of our flowers. And I'm not going to worry about what's in the actual middle. We'll work on that in a second. So these do have a set of stencils. We do have a set of stencils that go with them. So we're going to use those, but we're not going to, like, each one is going to have the same color. Kind of a different theory with stencils. I'll show you. Oh no! You should definitely contact the, she said her Impress died. You should definitely contact the company on that one. It's a really, really great product. Okay, and there's not many stencils for this. So, is this one 2? This one is 1. So, it's basically the leaves and the petals. So here we go. I'm doing this because I like to protect my little white edge, and I just think I can get better definition by using the stencil than just going over the flower. It just kind of blocks my leaves and helps out. So we're going to start with a little bit of chamomile right at the center, and we'll see if it's dark enough. If not, we're going to go to Snapdragon. Ooh, Diet Coke. Speaking of things that you drink while you're crafting, I'm going to have a little sip of Coke. So hang on. Let me reach for it. I got to not spill it on the project. My preferred beverage that has caffeine in it would probably be coffee. But coffee's hard to drink during a live stream and it makes your mouth dry. My second preferred would be sweet tea, but I just can't make it as good as some of the places around here. So the one that I can keep in the fridge is Coke. I saw mushroom coffee. Cool. So this one is chamomile. If you get oranges, yellows, whatever, this is one of my faves. Love this one. Actually, I'm going to stick with chamomile. I think that's plenty dark. I don't think I'm going to go in with Snapdragon. And you see how I'm just doing the middles of these flowers because we're going to have it fade from orange to red. Loves to do that for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. Tech just decides to do different things sometimes. I don't even know. I don't even know. Like sometimes it just flashes me. Let's just be happy that in general we have sound and it's working. I'm going to just be thankful for my current blessings and not really wonder why in the world it's doing that. So we're doing chamomile for the centers with this brush. Next, we're going to do a little bit of Coral Bliss to fill in. So I'm going to use a lighter color brush. Actually, not quite that light. Let's go like this light. Yeah. You know what? And look, I have the wrong, that's why I labeled these. This is Pink Pearl. Hang on. I put the wrong top on. That one's Coral Bliss. Oops. Key to being organized. It would help to put them on the right spot. So for the reds, I'm going to come from the outside in. Okay, I went from the middle with those. With the reds, I'm going to come from the outside and move in. And that's just to get that good blending and keep our orange from fading too much. Okay. So coming from the outside of the petals and blending in. And I'm just doing light pink right now. Don't worry, we're going to make it more intense in just a second. So we're doing Coral Bliss. Sorry if you can see that. And I'm just getting the coverage right now and kind of the blending of that chamomile. Nothing super fancy yet. Okay, so we got our good pink down. Now we're gonna get a little darker. We're gonna take the heartbeat and we're gonna use it. Still a bigger brush and still the same idea, bringing it from the edges. And then I'll show you what really makes it. Let's make sure I got the right color. Yep, got heartbeat. So this I'm gonna bring down about 1/3 on each of these petals. So tell me, have you tried the Altenew inks yet? Yeah, for some reason, I don't even know what that is, but I think I just saw a little piece of something get on there. Oh, okay, that's good. I thought I'd dropped that little piece, but it's just the edge of the stencil. And then when you come to this one, you're kind of careful not to get your dark red on the other one. So just kind of come around it carefully, okay? And these colors always dry a little bit lighter than what you're putting them on. So don't worry if you think you got it too dark, it's gonna dry perfectly. Okay. So just kind of a nice yellow to a little bit pink and then darker red. And if you feel like there's any spot you missed, like I feel like right here it could use just a smidge of yellow. So let me just add some yellow from my brush. Okay. Those look nice and blended. Now what really makes this card, remember we're using this in the background of the card and we're using Vineyard Berry, which is close to this berry mocha. So if you want this to really stand up off the card, we need to go in with a really dark lining color. And I'm gonna use a really small brush. This is the Micro Blending Brush 7, teeny tiny, and we're just gonna kind of do the edges just to give it that definition. It's gonna make this beautiful floral just go pew. Okay, you like the sound effects? Okay, so I love that they come in packs of 4 that coordinate perfectly. That's my favorite thing about their inks. It's like they just have such nice colors and they coordinate so well. So I'm just going around like maybe the outer 10% with this berry mocha and just putting it on the actual stencil and bringing it into the edge, okay? Just that little outer bit. It's going to make a huge difference, and I know that it doesn't seem like it would make that big of a difference, but it really does. Just makes that definition even more. Kind of makes each petal stick out. Kind of hold them out. I got a big smudge there. No big deal. Hang on. Get a big smudge. Just use your blending brush and blend it down. And you can always add a little bit more somewhere else. The thing about this ink is if you've got some good ink blending paper, you can kind of move the ink around. Like I could take this brush and just kind of pull it down a little bit if I feel like I got too heavy. So has anybody tried this multicolor petal look? I'm glad you like the sound effects. Ooh, I don't know the answer to that question. Rachel, somebody's asking if they can use the coupon and their points. I think you can, but I don't know. If you can't, please just use my affiliate link at least. Okay, so we've gone around that. Can you see the difference in these and this? That's the one where I got a little heavy-handed. So I'm just gonna make the other ones kind of match. Just get a little heavier handed here. Remember, it's gonna dry and it's gonna look good. So this is one of my favorite ways to color flowers, is to start with like a pink or a yellow in the middle and then move out, because it's just, you know, that nice first part of the rainbow, that Roy part of the rainbow, Roy is red, orange, and yellow, just look great when they're next to each other. Let's see this is a mini blending brush. So I'm using mini blending brushes and I'm using a micro blending brush. Goodness, it loves to like click back and forth. Let's just hope it holds up. A little camera. So I got a little heavy here too. I'm going to use the bigger brush and just kind of smooth it a little. This is our last petal on this one, and then we got one more set of petals. So we'll go through this whole process again, just so you can see what I did. And when you pull it off, it's just so shocking how much better it looks than a white flower. It's like, whoa, we did all that with blending brushes? How cool. Okay, you ready for the reveal? All right, here we go. Look at that. Oh, y'all are gonna love it when we do the next one. Oh my goodness. So I think I need a little bit more yellow on this petal. So I'm gonna do that super quick. Just add just a little yellow to that petal and then we'll be good. So always just when you're looking at it, if you think, oh, I'm gonna add something else, you can do that pretty easily. I'm actually gonna wipe away any red and we're gonna see if we can just get a little bit more yellow right there. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that petal had some yellow. Okay, there we go. Boom. Awesome. Okay, now we've got a couple more petals, which I have to figure out which way it goes. Sometimes you have to turn the stencils a little bit. There we go. There's our match. Now with this one, you've got these leaves hanging off. Don't go crazy and get those leaves. For me to protect those leaves, I'm sticking a Post-it note on it because I know I'm going to accidentally get those leaves if I don't watch out. So we'll start again with chamomile. So if you have done multicolor flowers, like the same, like a different color for the petals, what are your favorite color combos to do petals? If you're not doing the oranges and pinks like this, tell me what your favorite color combos are so we can learn. Has anybody tried a rainbow? It's a little tricky, but it's cool. Takes a lot of masking. Okay, see, I'm just going really fast with that yellow. Super easy, quick and easy. Now we'll go quick and easy with Coral Berry, or Coral Bliss, sorry. And I'm gonna make sure I didn't get too much red on my, oh, it's this one. Just cleaning off that brush a little bit. I may end up being too heavy on this one. Because that's the thing, you've already got the ink on your brush, so you don't have to have as much when you go back in for the second level. Remember, our goal with the pink is just to kind of mix it with the yellow. So get good coverage. You're covering most of it all the way down to the yellow where they get some mixing, because pink and yellow make a nice little orange. Okay, so we got our pink down. Good. I got a little much on my pink on that one. Whoops. Might have to go back in with the yellow on that just to make it more defined. Never hurts to add more color, especially on something we're doing like this. So Heartbeat is our darker color. We're going to use our red and do about 1/3 of the petals. Teals and purples, yes. That's a great, oh, pink to purple. That would be great as well. Ooh, I'm gonna have to try some of those in a while. I know I've done them before, but ooh, I do love teals and purple together. I just did one for this release that was all like blue and teals on the petals, but it was more of a layered stamp type thing. I'm gonna have to blend some of those. I do love me some purple. Well, so stencils can be a little bit tricky. I highly suggest having some type of sticky mat to hold on to your stencils. It helps hold not only the stencil, it holds your piece of paper down, but generally it's hard to mess them up. Like even if you're a little bit off, usually you can recover and get still a pretty cool image because they have so much detail. So I would also say always use your plastic of your stencil to tap off any excess ink. Like if you're getting it too dark, just use that part of the stencil because stencils wipe off. We're going to go around doing our red edges on this one. I think we have a couple more petals and then we'll go to those gray leaves. And we'll talk about why we did gray leaves. And stencils, the one thing Altenew does, and I'm sure some other companies do, they label them so that you know like which way they're supposed to go, and also what is the front of the stencil, which is helpful to me. I used to struggle like, okay, I'll flip it over. No, that doesn't seem like it fits. Now that doesn't seem like it fits. So I'm glad they started doing that. And I know it's hard for you to see where they label it because they just like emboss it into the plastic. So it's a little bit hard to read on screen. Oh, got that one a little heavy. So I'm a little heavy right through here. Okay, and maybe not heavy enough right there. Okay, so I think we're good here. This one just seems like it needs a little more blending, so I'm doing that. Okay, let's look at this reveal. I think y'all are gonna be like shocked at how fast or how fun this is. Oh my goodness. Isn't that cool? I love how that looks. Oh my goodness, now we got this one. I'm gonna use a little bit of a paper towel and wipe this off. I'm gonna wipe my stencils off real quick because we're gonna be using lighter colors. So I'll wipe those off and let me see if there's any questions. Yes, teal and purple is a great way. So I'm gonna wipe off the stencil while I'm talking to you. Thank you. Yeah, it's so lovely. So there's a few more little petals that we'll do, and then we will have this big floral, and basically our card will be put together. We'll do the couple more petals, and then we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna show you a fun trick for the middle. I'm not even gonna stencil the middle. So we got a few more petals here. It's on the bottom of this one. Let's see if we can figure out how it fits. Yeah. Right there. The other key thing with stencils is to make sure there's some little lines that line up the edges of other petals. So there's like embossed lines right here, and that kind of helps you too with where the placement is. Like I'm actually gonna scoot it up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Covering up my leaves again because I'm gonna get those if I'm not careful. So I'm just using Post-it notes, okay? And then we will start with our yellow, like we've been doing. Let me wipe this stencil off really quick. I didn't wipe my other stencil. It does take a lot of practice. It does take a lot of practice, but having the right tools really helps. Definitely helps. Okay, get that over here for us. We'll do some yellows. And these are really nice and easy to me for my hands to blend with. I feel like they don't hurt my hands as much as some other things. So I'm gonna go through, just add just a smidge of yellow. These are just little teeny petals, but they'll be fast. So do you prefer florals that take up the whole card, or do you like to have like multiple florals and cut them out and have them on the card? Hey, Tracy. Okay, so Nancy says, how many pieces of paper fit inside of those pockets that are on sale? So these are our exclusive coupon code today is for these pockets. This currently has 10 sheets. Let's see how many we can get in here. I'm pretty sure it fits 20 of their cardstock. And this one I know is around the plastic. So the plastic's not gonna go in there. I have to take it out, hang on. But this is another 10 sheets. We'll make sure, but I think it's 20. It may say on the website, but we'll check. So here. Yeah, definitely 20. I can easily fit 20 in there. So 20 pieces, and I'm not shoving it all the way down because I got some pieces, but 20 pieces should fit. Let's see here. Yeah. Possibly you could get another one. I don't think you could get much more, maybe 25. Okay. I'm making a mess over there. Here we go. So we got our yellows. We're gonna go to our Coral Bliss, and then we'll have our flower done for this first card. So we're gonna use a little bit of this Coral Bliss. Here we go. Make sure I've got the right one on the bottom. Yep. Sometimes I put the tops on wrong, so I like to always check. So this should be pretty quick. These are little bitty petals, so they're pretty easy to get some color down. Just get some color down. Get a good mix. Nothing super fancy. Now let's go to our next color. This is where it gets a little bit trickier with a small petal. You want to kind of come from the edge and just barely go around because we're trying not to take up the whole petal, but it's a small little petal, so you kind of have to be careful with it. So be a little bit more cautious with those. The other nice thing as you move along the stencil, a lot of times your brush has already got so much ink on it that it's pretty easy. You don't have to do a whole lot of inking. And then don't forget this berry mocha, because if you leave these little petals out, it's going to look strange. So just kind of go around each of the petals too. And a way to think of this is like a little pencil that you're tracing along the edges. It's just bringing a little bit of dark color along each edge. And I don't even think I'm going to have to redo my brush. I'm just going to kind of go along each tip, about 10% of the flower. All right. Okay, did we get them all? I think we did. Okay, let's look at our full flower. Yeah, the definition is nice. Okay, here's what we got. Oh, do we have a couple of flowers that we missed? Did I get all those? Let's see here. Oh, this one's got a couple, so we still have a couple more. Hang on. Let's see how this thing works. Here. Oh, here. Oh, I've got it wrong side. There we go. That's what I mean about turning your stencil. So we do still have 4 more. I'm sorry. Those are teeny. They'll be fast. It's like, how did we end up without our little petals? And this is the first one for here. So I'm going to mask it, and then we're going to start on our leaves too. So just be careful, because that's not going to be the same color. So here we go. Just using our yellow. You may not even have to dip it in ink again. We'll see. Oh, taking care of your fur baby. I'm sorry, got sick. That's true. That's what moms do, right? I hope you'll get to have a makeup time to get to hang out. All right. Now we're going to do this. Like I said, I don't even know if I need any ink on it, but we'll try. Okay. And I'm just being fast with these last ones because really they're teeny tiny. Just get a little bit of color. I might even jump straight to, I don't know. I'll do just a little bit of heartbeat from that's what's on my brush. How about that? But I'm not going to redip it. And then I'm going to do my berry mocha. And then we'll play with these leaves. So I generally do leaves, actual leaf color, like greens. But I really thought that that would look too Christmassy on this card. I didn't want this to look like it was a Christmas card with a red flower and green leaves. So I decided that I would do kind of a gray leaf. And I really like how it turned out. It really shows off the flower a lot. And so I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, so got those done. Check. Now we can uncover these leaves and get our first 2 leaves done. I'm going to do this just to cover up my red part so that I don't get the leaf color on the red either. So just kind of making myself a little mask. All right, so tell me, are you into mixed media? Like, have you tried paste, like paste and things like that? Because I have a good video for you if you are just getting into it and want to try it out. It's really fun, and it's shocking how amazing it can look. Even with just a few little simple additions, if you're looking to get your backgrounds and stuff just looking just a little bit fancier, then that's a good option. And I have a really fun video that came out last week on that. So for these, we're going to use Evening Gray, Moon Rock. If you don't have any grays from Altenew, these are very nice grays. I love their colors. So let me see. I'm going to start with Evening Gray, and we're just going to come in with a little bit of Moon Rock. So we're just going to, these we're not going to do as much attention to detail. We're going to just kind of get some color down. Nothing major, just coloring them in. Yeah, paste is really fun. I love playing with paste. And you don't have to have paste to do mixed media, but I did a lot of playing with watercolor and paste and stamping and spritzing some things and just really playing with things that I have not used in my craft room much. So evening gray is kind of a warm gray. And what really sets it off is coming in with the moon rock and just making a little bit more definition in those leaves. Yeah, definitely worth trying. I have a lot of videos on paste. I don't consider myself a mixed media expert, but I love experimenting. And so you will definitely see videos from me with a lot of like experimenting with paste and trying them different ways because they're just fun. And once you buy paste, you need to use it because it doesn't sit around forever. So it's like, just don't let them go to waste. I'm gonna do a moon rock. And then the next color in this is lava rock, and I'm gonna do just a smidge of this, just to give it even more, like just a smidge, just along the bottom 10%. Okay, not much. Just to give it a little definition. And also because I got just a little red into that leaf from the other ink blending, so it's easier to cover it up with a darker color. Okay, here's our reveal. We only have 2 more leaves. And then we're gonna make, oh man, look at that. Super cute. Okay, 2 more leaves. If I can find our 2 more leaves. Oh, they're down here. Okay, so we'll make these leaves. Make sure I don't get that on accident or that. And we'll do those 3 colors again. We're just gonna start with evening gray, add a little bit of moon rock, and our floral will be done, and I'll show you some extra things I did to this card that just really set it off. I wish y'all could see this card in person because it is so beautiful. Yeah, I have lots of spritzes and sprays with the, you know, like determination that I'm gonna use them. And then I just let them sit on a shelf and get dusty, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna start trying this out. So I got kind of like, okay, well, I'm gonna start with the Distress Spritz. And I am telling you, that adds a beautiful, like, kind of glittery look to things, and it's so easy to use. I had a video on that one recently that, I mean, you can just take a piece of colored cardstock, add that beautiful, just some like gold, I think it's called fossilized amber spritz, and it looks like gold droplets. It looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. We're gonna add a little gold to this too because I think it just looks amazing to have a little gold on here. Now we just need just a little bit of lava rock and we're done. Will y'all give a shout out and say thank you Altenew for giving us an exclusive coupon code? They don't have to do that, and it's so nice when they do. I know if it's, it never hurts, and it's so quick, but you just, it's a good deal. You definitely want to grab some stuff if you're shopping today. So I'm gonna feel like that's smeared just a little. Look at that. I'm gonna hold it even closer. Look at how, you're gonna die when you see this on the red. Okay, let me just hold, I don't want to take it off here because I want to show you how to do the gold middles, but look at this. It just looks, see, I could have even gone darker on those outside petals. It just looks amazing. So the wipes that I'm using to wipe my stencils and stamps, I'm just using paper towels and water. Sometimes I'll use paper towels and Windex, probably not the best option, but I do that. I just use a paper towel. Most of the time, I don't always, sometimes I'll just use water and like a little brush, but okay, let me show you what I did with the gold centers. I've got a few different gold pens, and I want to show you the difference in these gold pens because I love pens and I bet you do too. So let me show you the difference in these pens because you can pick your type of gold because there are different color golds and some golds look better than others. Oh, Polly, Rachel will pop that code back in there. The code also too, whenever you're in one of these live streams, if you catch the replay, I will always put the code in the pinned comment and in the description. So here's this color. It's kind of like a yellowy gold, but it's very sparkly. Then we have a more rich gold. It's real solid. Looks nice as well. That one, so the first one is called a hybrid dual metallic, probably on my Amazon shopping list. This one is called, this one's the Uniball Signo, so it's that color. And then this one is a new one I just got. It's Slicci, S-L-I-C-C-I, and by Pentel. And it also has a nice gold, just a little less yellow than that one. So I'm gonna play with adding the sparkly one. We're gonna see what we think. That's maybe too yellow, let's just see. Oh man, it looks amazing. That looks good. So I'm just gonna add some sparkles in the middle, and that's just by dotting this into the middle. You don't have to be perfect with it, but it just looks good. It looks like you painted it. You can also do this with watercolor. I'm gonna use some metallic watercolor later on another card, and you'll see you could easily just dot in metallic watercolor. But sometimes it's just fun to get some shine and a little depth here in the middle. So I'm gonna add this with a pen. You tell me what you think. Which of those golds was your favorite? 1, 2, or 3? And I'll show you all those pens again. And let me hold it up closer to the screen. Oh, thank you, Jen. Oh, I'm glad you like the gray ones. Okay, so here are these colors. So vote. Which of these golds is your favorite? I'm gonna kind of, you see how sparkly that one is that we're using? And these are more like a matte. So vote 1, here we go. 1, 2, or 3. Which one's your favorite? And I'll keep adding gold while y'all vote. If you haven't done it yet, hit the thumbs up. That would be really helpful for people finding this on replay. So just hit the thumbs up on this video. Make sure you can always come back and watch the replay. That will be available immediately after this. And usually within a few weeks, I'm going to have an edited replay that is cutting it down even a little bit more if you need it that way. Okay, look at those beautiful gold centers. Ooh, that's beautiful. Okay, so people are liking 3, 2, okay, I see 1, 1. Let me show you up close. This is number 3 that we used. Lovely. Alrighty. And look at how this is gonna look here. Oh man, looks beautiful. So one thing I did that you probably didn't notice on the other card, also we're voting 1, 2, or 3, which gold? It looks like 3's winning. I see a lot of 2s as well. 2 is one of those that I've had for a long time. It's this Uniball one, Uniball Signo. I've had this for a while. This is a newer one to me, and it is from Amazon, and it's just really gold metallic-y. Definitely on one of my Amazon lists. I wish I could tell you. I guess the brand is hybrid. So there we go. Okay, so we've got this. We've got our Happy Mother's Day we're going to put on here. We have our little sentiment, blessed to have you in my life. And then to top it off, just because we want to make even more texture, I found this. I found this ribbon. That it's actually from Spellbinders, but it's a ribbon that is like the perfect color. So just to give it just a little bit more, I'm going to wrap that ribbon around the edge. And we'll pop up these flowers and be good. So I do need to trim, since my plate, since you can see that edge right there, I'm going to trim that off. So I see some 2s, 3s, yes. I am like a gold pen connoisseur. I love trying all different ones. And they all have like a different use. You know, like sometimes they just look better on something than others. So. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so I'm going to wrap this. I'm going to cut myself some pieces of this and just wrap it around. I'm going to do 3. And I know you're not going to see them a whole lot, but it just gives that card even more texture and it looks really nice. So let's cut like 3 of them. You can do as many as you want. It's just subtle texture. And then what I'm going to do is line it up on this little grid, and we'll put them across the middle. And add just a piece of tape to the back. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold this one here. I'm going to put some tape on it. And then we're going to pull it around. Tape it to the back. Make sure it's still in the middle. Yep. And then I can kind of tape this other side. So it looks like a mess on the back, but don't worry, we'll put it on a card front. So there's one piece. And you can do them however you want. I'm just going to kind of space them as I want. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just using painter's tape to hold them. Just try to get them where they go across a line, like they're a straight line, which you can see with this cover plate. So there's all kinds, and you don't have to go get yourself a new gold pen, but it's just fun to look at different ones. And I always like to see kind of what they look like, so, and tell people what I'm using, because nobody ever really says, oh, this is the gold pen I'm using. And I like to know, so that's what I'm going with. Okay. The nice thing about a plate like this is that you can see where you're lining things up based on the pattern. So I know that this needs to go straight across right about here to be even on the pattern. So yes, the back looks crazy, sorry. It just does, but it's gonna go on a card front, nobody's gonna know. Use your cheapest tape on the back because there's no point in worrying about it. So that's why I'm using my painter's tape. So my lines are reasonably even. Now I can do a little bit of popped up foam tape. Happy Mother's Day. And I'm gonna add this to it as well. So let's go with, actually let's just do regular. I'm not gonna do foam tape. I know there'll be neat, well, actually let's do like just real thin foam tape here on the top and bottom. I'll do a piece here, a piece at the bottom. Alrighty, I'm gonna remove this so that's out of our way. Our next card is going to be the pastel version of this, but it's also gonna have a sneaky little shaker card. Because these cover plates, that's my second way to use them, is they are the easiest things to make a shaker card out of. So just FYI. I go about right there. And we'll need just a little bit of foam tape on this. Add a bit of foam tape there. Okay, and then this one's gonna need a smidge of foam tape to hold it. So we'll do like a little bit of glue on this side, and we'll do just a little teeny, gosh, it's gonna be hard to cut that teeny of foam tape. But I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make it. Okay, I think I got it. Hopefully I did it on the right side, yeah. So that way this part sticks up and this part will fit there. I'm gonna do just a little bit of like double-sided adhesive or something on this one. Just like a little dot runner. Okay, there you go. Alrighty, and then we got this card done, yay! Get some stuff out of the camera. So tell me, questions, gray leaves. I saw some people were excited about the gray leaves. I love how the gray leaves turned out. Another good thing for your craft table is to consider having a level, especially for a long sentiment like that. Just make sure that it's actually lined up level. It's close. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, look at that. I do need to trim this. Sorry, I got a little piece of painter's tape that wants to show up. All right, so what was the winner on our pins? I think it was number 3. Tell me if y'all need me to show you that again. So here it is. I know it's hard to see that beautiful red ribbon, but there's red ribbon there and red ribbon right here along the center. Then we got that crazy cool gold and fun ink blending that make this card just go, wow. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if my mom's still here. She may not have wanted to see the full final one that she's probably getting next year. So my mom, this was inspired by my mom because she loves red. Red is her thing, and so we made it red. And you see how we put that lighter color behind the window, which really makes it look like light is just glowing through it. I love how that one turned out. Let me get rid of some of these inks. Sorry. All right, so there's your bold one. And look, we started from this and we made this. How cool is that? And I just love how that cover plate. So this is the basic way to use a cover plate. Use a different color behind it. Use it on top of your card. It works great that way. Next, we're going to make a shaker card with our cover plate. So just stay tuned. Here we go. Let's do these. Do the florals. These are quick, easy florals. We're just going to do these as pinks. But I'm going to show you. I'm basically using the exact same colors we did before, just a different ink in that color set. So we're going to use the same reds. We're going to use the pink pearl, coral berry, and we're going to use a little bit of heartbeat along the center. And we're going to stencil these, and we're going to go fast because our main part of this is going to be our, what is it called? Is going to be creating our shaker card. And then our third card, we're going to use a cover plate in a way that you may not have seen before. The third card is also very bold, and part of it we're going to build, part of it I've pre-cut, but I need to show you how you can use these beautiful cover plates to create basically an embossing folder. That's number 2. But we're going to do really fast blending on this one. This is number 1. Sorry. I have to flip it over. Figure out which way it goes. Right there. Okay, so once I finally got it in place, we're going to keep this simple. We're going to go pink pearl, and we'll do coral berry, and we might do a little bit of heartbeat. I don't know. I love the richness of it too. Let's see if pink pearl shows up enough. Ooh, that pink pearl is juicy. So I'm just getting some color down. I think these are the colors. It may not be the colors I used. So we're just going to go pink pearl. Now, and I don't know if she's here, but if you haven't checked, that we picked the winners for my 30,000 subscriber. It was an Instagram hop, and we had lots of winners. I don't know if any of you were winners in here. I know Cheryl won some stuff, but don't worry, more giveaways are coming soon. So just stay tuned. Got lots of fun content lined up for the summer, so I won't be leaving you all summer. I've got things planned. Okay, so we're just going to go in the middle like this with the coral. I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to really try to show you how fast we can do this. So we're going to just go boom, boom, a little color there, a little color there. And we're just going to leave it like that. If you want to come in with your heartbeat, you can always go around the center with one of your other brushes if you're unsure. And just add just a little bit of color. Let me show you. So super fast on this one. Look at that. That looks nice. Okay, number 2. Let's figure out where this one lines up. So we did a question a couple weeks ago in the live stream, and it was really helpful for me. So I'm going to see if y'all are okay answering that question again. I would love to know where you originally found my content. Did you find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook? Have you followed me on all those places? That'd be great. Have you hit the like and subscribe button? But mainly I want to know, how'd you find me? It helps me to know that, because sometimes I'm like, you know, some people just don't ever run into you. And so I'm trying to see how people find me, what seems to be like the most important for my time, especially as we go into the summer where things get crazy and kids are home and you want to use your time the best way possible. Okay. So like I said, super fast blending on this one. We're just adding a little bit of darker in the middle. Okay. All right. Those leaves are done. Couple more petals here, and then we're going to do these leaves actually in the traditional green. There we go. So yeah, having a sticky mat. Thank you. Oh, good. So YouTube suggested my channel to somebody. That's good. So if you're just starting off with layered stencils, using some of Altenew's are really nice, because sometimes you'll get some layered stencils that don't have any like labels on them and you don't know where they go. So these are nice because they're labeled for you. I know you probably can't see that, but it tells me what layered stencil has a little line to know that it's a different flower. It just really goes together well. And I can't say what other companies are doing because I haven't seen a whole lot of layered stencils from other companies that are flowers like this. Most of my florals are from Altenew. I'm pretty sure that Honeybee does it this way too. Okay, so just getting that color down, pink pearl, adding a little bit of center Coral Bliss. Just a little. Just to create just a little bit of drama here. Alrighty. See, I'm just doing like mess and it is working fine. So you can do fast blending, you can do super detailed blending, but a lot of times it works out that it looks great no matter how you do it. Okay, so I see a lot of YouTube, some say Card Summit. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just cleaning this stencil with a wet rag. I actually did use a little Windex because Windex dries fast, but you could use alcohol, you could use water, whatever you want to do. I need to get a sip of water. Card Summit, YouTube. Good to know. Thank you, Nancy. She said she's done all of it. So there's definitely people here who haven't hearts up, so do that. We're going to do the leaves, and then we're going to make a shaker card. So this is number 3. I'm going to line it up. I am going to do the centers of these, of this one, or we can do another gold. What do y'all think? I think it's going to look better actually with yellow. So I'm going to do these with yellow. So let's find our yellow colors. Probably like the chamomile. That'd be fine. Plus I've already got the brush ready. And I'm just going to do the centers. So on this stencil, there are some things that are different colors. So just be cautious here. Now, we're going to take our light pink pearl, do these. So we've got a couple that are leaves, and I'm just kind of keeping my hand down here to remind me these are leaves. Don't go over them, but you can also mask them with some Post-it notes. Okay. And we'll do just a little bit of Coral Bliss, and we'll do the leaves. Okay. See how those flowers look. Oh, they're looking good. Okay, let's do our leaves. These leaves, I think I did Sweet Leaf. Let me see if I want to change that color up or not. Yeah, we did Sweet Leaf. It's a little bit of a, it's a kind of a true green, but it's kind of minty. So we're going to start with this, and then we're going to add just a little darker. So have any of you used a cover plate for a shaker card? Have you tried that out yet? Because that's what we're about to do. Next color is just green, and we're just going to add some darker highlights here. So this is just like a true green. Okay, there we go. Now we got 2 more leaves, and then we're going to make our shaker card. Boom. So we got these 2 leaves, and then we're done. I know that's a lot of ink blending today, but it's lots of good tips on ink blending. Thank you, Tamara. She said, I came here to see you do you. Awesome. So we're doing some sweet leaf. We're almost done with this one. We're keeping this one simple on its blending because its background is going to be so intense that the flower is nice on there, but the background is really what gets my attention on this one. So I'm keeping the ink blending pretty simple. Plus, it helps time-wise for our live stream. Just coming in with this darker green along these edges, just to give it a little bit more color in the leaves. Okay, there we go. We're all done stenciling this one. Boom. So a simpler flower, but still, it's gonna look amazing. Now I'm gonna show you how to use a cover plate with glitter paper. We're gonna create a glitter paper shaker card. And it's so easy with these cover plates. But cutting glitter with a cover plate, sometimes a little difficult. We'll see how we go. Tell me who is a fan of glitter paper. I like glitter paper because it doesn't make such a big mess. Are you a regular glitter person or a glitter paper person? So here are our colors that we're going to use. We're going to use a glitter panel. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So we're going to use that glitter panel. We're going to use this as our background that's going to be behind it. And then we're going to add some beautiful sequins on top of it. And you're going to be like, what even happened? This card is so sparkly. Okay, let me show you the way I would do this glitter paper. We're going to need one, you definitely need to tape it because glitter paper is really thick. So tape your paper and your plate. Even if you've got this mat, I still sometimes will add just a smidge of tape just to give it a little bit of help. Okay. And then we are going to add 1 piece of cardstock over it like we did last time. Let me see where I got it. I'm going to add this cardstock and just to give a little bit more pressure because sometimes the glitter cardstock can be really hard to cut. So we're going to add just a little bit more pressure and send it through the die cutting machine. Yeah, glitter paper, I really like glitter paper. It's so much less messy. All right, I gotta see how this looks. Let's see if we need to add any extra pressure or not. Just definitely doing something here. So I usually look at the back to see if I think it cut. I think it did. What we're gonna do is our same drop test, okay? Let's see what happens. We might need to send it through one more time, but let's do our drop test, okay? We got our edges. So that's what a cover plate does. It cuts it to a perfect A2. And then remember, we're dropping. Let's see. Okay, it didn't come out dropping, so I'm gonna send it through one more time. I'm gonna send it with 2 pieces of paper. Let me see if I just start to peel it up if it's working. I mean, they're there, but I wanna try one more time, so I'm gonna send it one more time. We'll see here. I think it cut, it's just I want it to drop out. We'll see if it'll drop out for us. We'll do that piece, maybe we'll do one extra other piece. Just one of my scrap pieces. do 2 pieces. And send it back through. Oh yeah, awesome. So Jan said she just got rid of a lot of her vials of glitter. I can't say I don't like glitter. I do have some and I do use it occasionally. Look at how that looked. This is a scrap piece of foil. That is actually really cool. That's all the way from the pressure. Oh man. Another use for a embossing, or for this, that just embossed the foil. What in the world? It's not raised, it just made a pattern in the foil. What is that? I have not done that before. Oh my goodness. Okay. Dude, I might have to use this on one of the cards. That is amazing. Okay, sorry. Let's see how the glitter did. But somebody tell me, have you ever tried that? This was the second piece, and we just sent it through the die cutting machine, and it put so much pressure on the foil, it made an imprint in the foil. This is my scrap piece of foil. Look at that. I don't even know what to say about that. I love it when something random happens in a live stream. It's like, what? That looks really cool. Okay. Sorry. I wonder if I could repeat that. I need to look at some more. If we send the other one through to do the embossing, I am going to see if I've got any more scrap pieces of foil, and we'll see if we can reproduce that. Okay, because that is very cool. Okay, sorry. Let's see what happens here. We still may have to punch out these glitter ones. Let's see. It's just a thicker cardstock. We'll see what we got. Okay, so help me remember that. We had a scrap piece of paper, we had a piece of paper that had foiling on it, and then we had this in there. And let's see if we can reproduce that on the next card, okay? All right, yeah, that definitely helped. Look, it's way better. Okay, let's drop it a couple times. Yeah, dropping is not as easy on this one, but most of it came out with that extra pressure. So I will clean that plate up later. Actually, I probably should clean this plate up now, really. But see, there's just a few that need to be popped out. So you can do them with your fingers. There are these little tools you can do that pop these things out. To me, getting the tool out takes longer than just running my fingers over it and popping them. So you can do whatever. These do make nice little embellishments though. Look at those. You can embellish. You could save those if you wanted to, or if you're feeling getting organized and destashing, just toss them in the trash. If you're not really going to use them soon, don't keep them. You'll just look at them one day and be like, why did I keep those things? So I'm going straight to the trash with mine, but you can do that if you are a very savvy crafter who is good at keeping up with your stuff, then go for it. Okay, now look at this. Can you see all that glitter? Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, so like 3 layers for the impression of the foil. That'd be right. We'll try it because we're gonna use this like an embossing folder. So it'll already have 1 piece in there. We probably should put 3 pieces. Yeah, and let's see what happens. That's right for sure, Rachel. Sorry, I'm smacking this against the trash. See if I can get the rest of those pieces out. Yeah, we're gonna make a mess with that for sure. So there's this little rolly piece too that you can use for this, and I lose mine all the time, so I'm just gonna kind of go through and poke some of these out. But we're not gonna worry about it too much. It's just that we're gonna impress this, so I don't want the impression to be less because we didn't poke out our pieces. So while I poke out pieces, why don't we answer a question? And I need to find some. Do you regularly use strips of foam tape? Because we're gonna use some foam tape to create this card, and having strips is really nice. And I think that you want to, if you invest in like strips, you want to invest in like the thinnest ones you can if you like shaker cards. I love this glitter too. This glitter is called, it's from Altenew, and it's called Moonstone. Definitely on my list. Make sure if y'all are just joining in that you know that we have an exclusive coupon code today for Altenew. You can get 50% off the paper, like if you're working on organizing and you need something to store your paper in, they have some really nice paper folders, and they are really good quality. They hold about 20 pieces of paper, we've decided, and they are just a good way to organize paper if you haven't come up with one yet, or you haven't got one that you like. I like that they close so you can put your scraps in them, and then you don't have to worry. Okay. Look at all those little pieces. Oh my goodness, we're almost there. Yeah, it's really nice to not have to cut the bigger pieces. That's what kind of causes, it's just like you're like, I don't want to have to cut this foam in half, because then it sticks to you and it just gets all over everything. I agree. I like, Jen, I love it when you do all caps so I can read it. So I've got some really thin ones. You can cut your others, but I've got some thin strips that we're going to use. So I'm almost there. Hold on. I can finish some of this one before we do our next one too, so we can get together. So for our shaker card, all we have to do for this card is create the shaker element. Pretty easy. I'm going to give you some tips because I love shaker cards, and I have some tips on just ways that make them a little bit easier. We're going to use some sequins too from Altenew that are pretty similar to this moonstone, but they just give a nice look. We'll have a colored backdrop. So we're going to use that green backdrop. Why, you ask, are we using the green backdrop? Because I think it just looks cool with those pink flowers. Look at how this is going to look. Oop. That one's got a red one in there. Sometimes you just have to look at it on there and see if you left. So sometimes like the other colors cut out and they leave a little dot there. Okay. So look how good that's going to look. Nice. I need to grab the acetate and I need to grab the strips. So I'm going to use foam strips. These are just strips of adhesive. Okay, we're going to use those to kind of build up our shaker card. And you see how they're super tiny? They're like 1/8 of an inch. It's just easy to have. These are, I think from scrapbook.com. You can also take your Altenew foam tape and cut it in half. It's just sometimes easier to rapidly make one with this. So tell me, are y'all, what have we used so far that you're like, I've got to try that? Tell me that in the comments. And I'm grabbing the acetate, so I'll be right back. Here, I'm going to set this here so you know what's going on. Do this, we're going to do this. We're going to grab some acetate. You could also do the clear part. You could do it in vellum, but it just doesn't show off your sequins quite as much. That one's probably about right. So this is acetate. If you know me, you know I love some acetate too. So let's put this together. This is going to be like the fastest shaker card you've ever done. So, because we've got such beautiful right here, we don't have to do much to it. Let's do some double-sided adhesive around it so that we can attach the piece of plastic, and then we'll trim that piece of plastic. Let's see if 1/4 of an inch works. Ooh, close. I think I'm gonna go skinnier than that. And you could do it with glue, but I don't recommend doing it with glue. I think I'm just gonna take this little tape runner and do it. Here's what we're gonna do. And this is just going along the edges so that we can attach that acetate. Okay, there we go. So we got to make our window first. So let's attach our acetate. As long as it covers up the holes, that's all you need. And then I'm going to trim it off. So this will be our front window. You can also use a paper trimmer, but I like to kind of cut behind it a little bit. Ooh, that's a pretty window. I see one spot that's going to get covered up. Now we need to add our double-sided adhesive so that we can build up a window. So we're done with our acetate. Let's build this window. Where did I put the double-sided adhesive? There it is. So it's nice with these long strips. You can just take a whole strip off and go boom. Very easy. Just want to make sure that your window closes. So make sure that you line up this so that it fits perfectly and little sequins don't sneak out. Okay. Okay. That worked out for two sides basically. Okay. So I'm making sure that they come together perfectly so that nothing falls out. Okay. And then we're going to close the gap. Let's see if this is going to be the perfect length. Yeah, that is perfect. That closed perfectly. I couldn't have done that better if I asked. Huh? I guess if somebody knew that when they made those lengths of that strips. So now you've got your sticky on the outside and you've got a little window. We're going to use a powder tool to make sure that all of our sequins don't stick to the inside edges. So I'm going to use this one that has this little brush. So we're going to go here. So is anybody new to foam adhesive? Foam adhesive is a good way to build up layers. You can also do this though. If you wanted to layer different little strips of paper, you could do it that way. There's all different ways, but you need some space so that these sequins can move around. I'm gonna go maybe this size sequin. So this is the Altenew little container that holds sequins. I'm gonna go with like these. And we're gonna pour them directly on our background. You can do as many as you want, but I feel like if you kind of cover the center and you make them flat, that's usually enough. It's enough to make it, you know, just make sure they're not all sticking up so they'll move around and that there's none towards the edges so you can place this on top pretty easily. So let me cover this up before I spill these sequins. All right, so some people, so Donna, are you new to foam tape? If so, it's really nice and it's not terribly expensive either. If you're worried about your placement, you can always add a little glue to your foam tape so that you get a little bit of wiggle room. Never hurts when you're trying to place something perfect on top. Just put a couple little dots. And then our last one, if y'all are hanging on, the last card is the most, like, I would say the most advanced because we're gonna use this cover plate as an embossing folder. Okay. Now I've got a little edge. Look at that. Okay, good. Well, good, Donna. I hope if you have questions, let me know. Yeah, you can do layers, like you can do scraps of paper. That works. Just when it's this thin, sometimes it's hard to like get that, or you could cut the plate out a few times and use the edges, but for convenience, especially for a live stream, I'm definitely not doing strips of paper. I'm gonna use some foam tape. Okay, so here's our shaker card. Look at how glittery. Look at all that. I hope you can see that. It is overwhelmingly glittery. It's so beautiful. And we're gonna put our beautiful flowers on here. Just gonna do some double-sided adhesive. Put these on, and then we're gonna add our sentiment, and then this card will be done, and we're gonna move to embossing with a whatever it's called, cover plate. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to talk while you're live. And I've got two cards with the embossing with the cover plate. One is gonna be a little bit of a secret for a few more days until it gets back. But just know you'll see two different versions of the card we make today on social media. So if you want even more ideas with some sets you might have, that's gonna be kind of fun. Okay, so now we can put this away. Okay. Oh, hi from South Carolina. It is one in that should, Oh, it's not on the supply list. It's one that's out of stock. It's another version of the one we're using today. It's called African Daisy. It will be back in a couple weeks. So I will show you the other version today. Okay, so we got our flowers. I'm just going to put Happy Mother's Day on this one. Look at how beautiful this card is. And I love that you can keep your ink blending and stuff kind of simple because you've got so much going on in the background. It's super fun. Oh, awesome, Susan. Yes, you can watch the rest later. No problem. I'm glad you're getting to do some crafty time. Anybody out there making Mother's Day crafts today, or y'all already completed those? One of my favorite things for Mother's Day is like to have the kids come in the craft room with me. They're doing that a little bit more, but you know, they're boys, and so sometimes they'll craft with me, sometimes they won't. Okay, here is this beautiful one, and it sounds so good. Oh, I love how much sparkle there is. It's like shaker sparkle plus glitter cardstock sparkle plus all of these beautiful, just that detail on the back. You could even go in with your gold pen if you wanted to add some sparkle here like we did on the other one. So here's what we've got so far today. We have these two that we've done. So this is the same cover plate. Now we're going to look at embossing this cover plate. So embossing a cover plate is kind of like creating your own embossing folder. Not quite, it's not a 3D embossing folder, it's just embossing. So it's not usually multiple levels, but it creates a lot of detail. Oh, good. Good to know. Yeah, you're making today. Good job. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to use this, I'm sorry. Let me get the color cardstock we're going to use because it is bright. We are going to use it on this blue. This is called, let me see the name of the cardstock. Ultramarine. And then we're going to use this bright yellow with it. Look at how pretty these are going to be. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. So let's see how we are going to emboss it. Hang on. So this is how that color is going to look. I've already pre-cut some flowers and we're going to do a little bit of ink blending and it's going to look amazing. So to emboss this folder, I am going to use this set of plates. So we've got a clear plate, a metal shim. This is for the impress. So, and then you have this embossing mat. If you've never seen that, die embossing. So we're going to do some die embossing. So you need the cutting part of the plate to go into the soft part, okay? So when you're lining this up, I like to use a little smidge of tape to make sure it stays there. So just a little smidge of tape. You don't want to do too much or it might actually put an impression on your embossed image. Then you're going to put, I like to get extra deep impressions, so I'm going to add a smidge of water to the back, and that just helps the paper move a little bit, just a little bit, okay? And then you can run it through with just this. I'm going to show you the difference in this versus a piece of paper, so hang on. I actually need to, that wants to move a little bit, so I may need a second piece of tape. Sometimes when you add the water, it makes it want to move a little bit. There we go. So I'll show you what it looks like with just this piece of plastic, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we add one more piece of paper. Okay. And we're going to do it. I missed my clear plate. So I'm running it through a die cutting machine. Let me show you. Oh, good. Everybody's making, lots of people making Mother's Day cards today. Good. Hopefully you can get some inspiration. And this one I'm going to make as a friend card so that we're not all Mother's Day. Okay, here is what it looks like with one pass. I actually think I'm going to keep it that way because I think that's good. That is one pass. Do you see that impression? So let me review what plates I used again. Look at this. So it didn't cut, it just made an impression. Remember how we accidentally made an impression or made something out there in the foil? It's making that reverse impression into the paper. So see how beautiful that is? It's just a really nice way to use that background without actually cutting. Super nice. So I've already pre-cut the flowers for this, but I am going to add a little bit of detail to them because they just looked so cute. So I love this blue color. I think it's called, what do we say, ultramarine? It's one of Altenew's colors. And see how that looks? Looks different than the cover plate because with the cover plate, you've cut out all of these things. With this one, where it cuts, it's raising it up. Okay, so see the difference in that versus this? Let me hold them up. Can you see how you get like a different pattern? It almost looks like a different plate. How cool is that? You could always use this, but most of the time that's not quite as intense as this pattern. So just a little water, running it through. Love it. Okay, now we're gonna make, here's another one that I already put. So see how it kind of wants, since we sprayed it, it's a little bit warped. I added a little bit of foam tape on this one just to save time so that you could see it when it's perfectly flat, but it's the exact same thing. Just beautiful. I'm a sucker for blue too. I do love some blue. All right, we're gonna make these little things. Let me show you what I used. I'm using an old set for this that's called Craft a Flower African Daisy, and we're just going to use this bigger flower and we're going to create 3 of them. Yes, so Eileen, I add card bases to all of my cards later. So this one, I would add a card base to it, and that would cover all this up. But I make them as card fronts and then I store them that way because it's easier for me to do that. I have better storage options that way. So we're gonna use this. We're gonna use the new Stylish Greetings Friend, and we're gonna add some beautiful gold splatter to this as well. So we're really gonna fancy up this card quick. So this color of yellow cardstock is called Sun-Kissed, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, it's called Sun-Kissed. Okay, and we're gonna do 3 flowers, and we're just gonna add a little bit of ink blending to their center, and then we'll put them together. So this is an older set. This might be one of my first Altenew sets. So you can do this with anything that you want. But this doesn't have the keyholes, so we'll have to kind of line it up a little bit. But I like this size flower, and I love the African daisy in general. It's just a really good flower to ink blend on. So we're gonna take some Snapdragon, and we're going to blend in the center. And you don't have to be super neat with this, okay? Because the center is gonna be covered up. So just add some ink to the centers of each of these. It just gives them that beautiful color. So Eileen, I think that answered your question. Did you catch that? That I add the card base? So when I do that, let me show you. I cut card bases ahead of time. So I have all these card bases, and then when I'm ready to send out the card, I add it to this card base and trim it up, and then I can write on the inside of the card and I can sign the back. I hope that answers your question, Eileen. Okay, so tell me, are you a embosser? Like, do you use embossing folders? Yes, no? So I'm just going through the centers of these and adding color just to make it a little fun. So tell me who uses embossing folders out there. And if you haven't used them, do you have any cover plates? Because that's kind of what we're doing. We're substituting. Okay, so Eileen says, yes. Do you add the sentiment in the inside also? Sometimes. I don't always. Sometimes I just write on the inside of the card. It depends on what it is. If it's something that I really love, a stamp that I have, then I'll stamp the inside as well. But a lot of times my cards say something like hello. So if I needed it for a birthday card, I can use the hello and just stamp in their happy birthday or write them a happy birthday. And it just gives me a little more flexibility with what I'm doing with my cards. So we're going to add this Snapdragon to Sun-Kissed cardstock. And it's going to look amazing on this blue. This one is just kind of like it's kind of the background of the other two. So just add, it doesn't have to be neat in the center. Like I said, just kind of start in the center and swirl outwards just to get some color around it. It's nice when it has like a little color variation. Okay. Yeah, cover plates, it's one of those things that like I feel like they were popular a few years ago, and so I have a few, but I don't have tons of them. But every time I get them out, I'm like, oh, look at this. We can do all kinds of stuff with this. We just got to play with it a little bit. You could make your own stencil out of it. You could cut that acetate piece and use it as a stencil. They just have a lot of different uses that go beyond what they're intended for. So I feel like people sometimes don't give them a chance because they don't realize what all you can do with the cover plates. There really are a lot of fun options out there. Okay, so I've got all these kind of ink blended, just got a little bit in the middle. We're going to put these together and we'll cut out our centers. So whenever you're putting one of these together, you can always look at the guide if you want, but a lot of times there's something that matches up. So see how this back matches right there? It fits. With the newer sets, they have a little keyhole that helps you line them up, but with the older sets, they don't do that. So this is an older set. Okay, let's see how that lined up again. And I just put glue in the center. That way, if you want to pop the floral part up, you can do that. Really doesn't matter if you line these up correctly. They're going to look beautiful no matter what. So just however you want to do it. I'm going to go like that. Just a dot of glue is all you need. And each one might be slightly different, no big deal. And then you can kind of flip your little petals up if you want. Just hold it in the center, kind of flip them up a little bit. It gives it just a little bit more definition. Super fun. Do this. There are little tools that do this too, but I just a lot of times flip them up with my fingers. It just kind of bends the paper a little bit and it makes it more of a 3D flower. You see? So you got a 3D flower there. Let's put these other two together. Yeah, I love cover plates and embossing folders too. Somebody said they're her go-to. I think they're my go-to too. Not always cover plates, but embossing folders for sure. But it's just because I don't have as many cover plates. But they look gorgeous. And they make any floral look amazing. I'm going to go like here-ish. Okay. Hold it down. And then I'm going to flip up the little flowers in just a second. So tell me while I'm working on getting these glued together, do you ink blend on colored cardstock or do you tend to ink blend only on white? Okay. Letting all that glue dry. I'm going to peel up my flowers, just holding my finger in the center and peeling up each layer just a little bit. Okay, so now we got a little bit of height on these flowers. If you're sending it in the mail, they might press down a little bit, but they look so good this way. Sometimes it's hard to keep your flowers nice and adjusted. Okay, they do, a lot of people do both. They blend on regular cardstock and on this. Sometimes if your hand's getting tired, like if you really want to coat the color of cardstock, oops, I need another piece of glue. I feel like you get a lot of mileage from using a colored cardstock because you've already got the full color down, and then you can go from there and add more. I feel like I need to turn this around a little bit. Actually, I think it goes right there. Okay, so let's get these off here. I'm going to cut out the centers really quick. We'll just cut out the centers in some brown, and then we're going to put them on the card. So look at what this is going to look like. Look at our beautiful colors together. Oh man, that's going to look amazing. So let's cut some centers of our flowers, and you could actually ink blend these if you want. That color okay? We'll go with this color. I'm just going to cut a couple centers. So let's cut these out really quick. Get rid of that. Get my plates back together. So I see a lot of people do both. Okay, and I see a question. Let me see if I know what Nancy's asking. I saw somebody got that mini brush organizer and then filled it up with all the brushes. I love that thing. All right, let's get out this set. Here's this set. It has these little centers here that go in the middle of the flowers. I'm just going to cut one of them out for each one. You can layer these if you want to and create a double, but for this one I'm just going to cut this little center out and put that in the middle of the flowers. So we're going to cut 3 of these out. So I don't need much of this brown cardstock. You could do this in gold if you wanted to as well. And then we will have the flowers ready. We will be able to splatter everything in gold. So hybrid embossing folders, are they, I think hybrid embossing folders include a die, right? So that you can die and emboss at the same time, or just with the same folder. Is that correct, Nancy? I'll see if the rest of the chat knows what those are. Got one more of these to get. So does anybody else know what hybrid embossing folders are? That's what I think they are, but I want to make sure that I'm not telling Nancy wrong. All right. I don't know if anybody else knows. Sorry, Nancy, I don't know if anybody else knows what hybrid embossing folders are. I think they just include a die. So Altenew just came out with a new one that's sold out that's that has a die, and then you send the pieces through and they emboss. So it's like the die cuts them, then you send it through, like you'd send these petals through to emboss the petals. I don't know if that's what it means. I don't know the official term for that. I'm not sure. So let's add our flower centers here. And tell me too, are you liking, so with live streams, are you a Friday or Saturday person? Oh, thanks. And Nancy, I'd say you can't really emboss and cut. Like there's some that come that you emboss and cut at the same time, but most of the time you cut, then you just send it through embossing folder. So it's not always that they do the exact same thing, but I have heard some places make them where they cut at the same time. Cut and emboss at the same time. The one that Altenew has, you cut it first, then you emboss it. Ooh, look at those. Those look lovely. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's kind of where I'm gonna go with my setup. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put our sentiment in the center. We're gonna use the new set called Stylish Greetings. I think this came out last month. It may be this month. And we're gonna use Friend, and we're gonna use that sentiment that we already made and cut out and add it as the little extra. It's right here. Let me show you. Because I told you some of these Mother's Day ones could work. Friend, blessed to have you in my life. Yeah, this is the season where everybody's outside and they're not watching live streams as much. Okay, so we'll cut this out. Let's do a little bit of splatter, and we're just gonna make a mess with the splatter. We're gonna use watercolor. We're gonna use a metallic watercolor. I love this gold. And let me grab my favorite splatter brush. Don't even know where it came from. I just like this little one. And let me grab the Altenew metallic watercolor. So we're gonna create some gold splatter over this, and then we are going to add that beautiful sentiment. So I'm gonna do this by just spritzing some water right here to mix and to get my brush wet. So I'm just gonna spray it right there in that pan because I actually didn't bring a cup or anything with me. And then I'm gonna add it to this gold. This is my favorite gold of this pan. I've had this pan of watercolor, oh my goodness, I bet I've had it 3 years, maybe 4. And I use it for splatter. You can use it like on dark cardstock. But anytime I'm using this bright blue, it never hurts to add just a little bit of gold. It looks so nice. And I think the flowers kind of look nice with the gold too, just to have a little bit of detail. So I'm just splattering some gold. If you need a little bit bigger splatter, you can add more water. But it just looks nice, and it really adds to that beautiful backdrop. It's so gold, really pretty. Can y'all see that okay? I'm gonna set this back here. Let me see if I can hold it up to you. Do you see that gold? It just adds extra, it just kind of highlights that background. Oh, so we're gonna cut out Friend and we'll add our sentiment, and it's gonna look beautiful. Let's let that dry just for a second while we do this. So we're just gonna cut out Friend. It's got a shadow and it's got a color here. So the shadow is gonna be white. I'm just gonna use a scrap piece of white. And then the other part's gonna be black. I really like, tell me in the comments, if you are doing a sentiment, do you do the back of it black and the front white? Or do you do the opposite? So let's say, tell me what your base color is. Is your base color always white? Or is your base color black, if you understand what I'm saying? My base color is almost always white. I just like that. Okay, thank you, Carla. And I saw somebody else look that up for AI as well, so good. Good to know. So tell me what base color you use. Like, what's your shadow color? Is it white or is it black? For some reason I like white. I just think it makes the black lettering pop out. But I do occasionally change it up. Both, okay. So we got our little Friend. Don't lose your little eye. I might end up losing mine. We'll see. So got it here and here. So I like white as my background and then my black on top. Okay, white sentiment, so white background. That's what I do a lot. I'm gonna keep this to here. Remember, we have an exclusive coupon code if you haven't gotten that yet. Let's put this together and then we can put our whole card together. Oh yeah, black with gold lettering sounds good. So tell me if you are thinking of a background that you want to create with this, with a cover plate, would you do a solid color? Would you do ink blended? I went with this really bold blue, so I'm curious. And I see a question, I'll answer that. Okay, Trish says, what cutting machine do you use? I have a couple. I use the Anna Griffin Impress, and I think that is on my supply sheet for my favorite supplies that Rachel will put in the chat. I have a whole list of just like my favorite things. And I also use the Spellbinders Platinum 6, but I tend to use the Spellbinders Platinum 6 just for embossing. It does a really good job with embossing folders. And I like that the other ones are, what do you call them? Are electric, so that I don't have to push a cutting thing through there. Okay, whenever you get your sentiment lined up the way you want it with glue, put an acrylic block on it. That way it doesn't start moving when you want to pick it up. Really also helps hold it down. Y'all tell me which of these cards are your faves. I want to hear that in the replay as well. Are you for number 1, the red one, number 2, the shaker card, or number 3, this embossed one? Which is your favorite of the day? Well, I'll show them all to you in just a minute. Okay, so we got friend, blessed to have you in my life. Let's get this. This is probably dry enough. I like to lay my sentiment out so I know that it'll fit. So friend can kind of fit there, and I'm doing kind of a triangle of these. So you can do it exactly. You can do it a little off like this. I kind of like it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my first of these down. Let's go like here. Oh, I know. I need to make sure I've got room for blessed to have you in my life. Hang on. So let's make sure we have room with these flowers. Maybe I'll go here. There we go. Okay, so now where it's just a matter of gluing it down and getting it looking amazing. So that metallic watercolor has already dried, which is super nice. And you could also pull this down and make your blessed to have you in my life go over the flower. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. That way it's more on center. Okay. And I might, since these are such tall flowers, I might pop these up just a little bit with a little bit of foam tape. So let's see here. Some quick foam tape, never hurt anybody. So this is just making it a little bit taller since the flowers are so tall. Okay, and I'm going to get friend down first, then we're going to do our other part. So I'm going to go with friend right about center card. Right about there. And even with it popped up, these are pretty tall flowers, so we're going to need, see here. So this guy can go, this may need just a smidge of foam tape as well because it needs to be popped up like the rest. So to get that small foam tape, I'm going to use one of these strips again. Take it like right here, pop it up, and then just not worry about that edge because one edge is going to be on the flowers. Friend, blessed to have you in my life. Okay, so a lot of people are voting number 1, the red one. Okay, look at that. All right, So another version of this card will also come out because I really loved playing with this card. I think I'm going to move this flower in just a little bit. I'm going to move it in just a little bit. Yeah, I think I like that better. So I just moved it off there, I know. That may not be your plan, but I just grabbed it because I know it's going to still cover that area up and the glue was still wet. I think I'm going to just tuck it in just a little closer so there's not that much of a gap. Like that. Gorgeous. All right, so let's go through some of these and we'll talk about a few of the things and what's coming up. Okay, so this is our number 3. We embossed the background with that cover plate, gave it a completely different look. So on all of these cards, we have used this cover plate. It looks like this, but when you emboss it, it kind of gives the reverse look. So it's got those little beautiful pulled up areas. Oh, thank you. I know, sorry, I had to put the pen in my mouth really quick. I try to stick it on something else because people get mad at me when I do that. Okay, but I will say when I'm doing it fast, that's how it is. So here's what we made today. So let's do some voting, okay? And we'll look at our options. We had, this is number 3. Let's see if I can get it in the frame here. Number 3. Number 2. I wonder if I can get them all in the frame here. Let me take them like right here. That way you can see them better. I wonder if I can move myself out of the way. I can move myself up here. Okay. There you go. So tell me in the comments what your vote is. This is number 1, number 2, and number 3. Tell me which was your favorite look of card. I would love to hear that. See what people are saying. Number 2, okay. Yeah, the shaker card is really fun. And I know it's hard to see those shaker pieces in there, but it looks so cool when you're holding it. So we kind of did like drastic color schemes here. We went, if you like pastel and sparkly, if you want to go more bold and kind of edgy modern, or if you want to just go with coordinating. These are what are colors that are opposite on the color wheel, and they always look good together. It's a blue and kind of orangey yellow. They look beautiful. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad y'all liked all these. So let's keep voting. We got a lot of 1s. I see some 2s. I see a few 3s. Y'all just tell me, even in the replay, which one was your favorite? We got boom. Sorry, it's going. We got this one. And we got this one. I'll try to bring them all up. So this is number 1. We used that gold pin. We got this little ribbon on the side, and we cut our plate so that the lighter color shined through. We did glitter paper with a shaker card, simple ink blending that's just complimentary with colored cardstock on the back so you can really see that glitteriness back there. Oh, and hey, the code for the exclusive coupon code is, Rachel will put that in there. There's a link to it that will add it to your cart automatically. This one, we use the cover plate to emboss a piece of paper. And I will put chapters in this video so you can go back and see exactly how we cut and did all of these, because there is a special cutting for glitter paper. You really got to be careful with the glitter. There's special if you're going to try to emboss. And then there were some tips and tricks on just using a cover plate in general, especially one with this much detail, and how to get all those little pieces out. So you definitely want to check all of those tips and tricks out and go there. So what's coming up? There will be new videos out every week, usually on Friday on my channel. I'm going to be live in a couple weeks with the next with another new release, but next week will be a pre-recorded video, so don't miss it. I'm trying to change up my thumbnails a little bit so y'all can tell a little bit better about what video is about everything. Just be patient with me while I practice with that and try to make them a little bit more exciting. Make sure you tell me which one was your favorite. And if you saw a technique or a tip that we did today that you haven't seen before, would you put that in the comments as well? I'd love to see what is helping you learn and what kind of things are helping you craft more. Just even little things like, hey, try embossing a cover plate, or hey, why don't you drop your cover plate on the ground or on your desk, and a lot of times the pieces come out. I love to hear what works the best for you. Make sure if you haven't done it yet that you hit the thumbs up, and make sure you didn't accidentally hit the thumbs down. That would be helpful. That helps people find all of this stuff on my channel, and it is really helpful. If you decide you want to watch the replay, make sure, feel free to watch it. That helps me out too. So as far as this card goes, I'm gonna see if there's anything else. Sorry, just checking to see if I had any more questions for you guys. I like that. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it so much. The blending on 1, the shaker on 2, and the colors on 3. Yeah, lots of fun. So I need to kind of like combine all of them. What if I like took all of these things and put them together? We did the embossed background, we did the coloring on this one, and then somehow made it a shaker card. We could just like combine the 3 all together. Yeah, gray's fun to use on the leaves. It's not something I often think about, but it really does make it stand out, because if we had put green right here, this would look like a Christmas card, not a Mother's Day card. Awesome. So we did it. 3 cards, 1 Altenew cover plate. And all of this stuff is from the May 2026 new release. These are an older die called African Daisy. I did put that on the supply list. So this is the only thing that I think is not in the new release for Altenew. You want to go shopping this weekend if you're going to use that coupon code. It is good this week. I'll show you what it is again. But they're also doing some money off of gift cards. So if you buy a $100 gift card, if you know you're going to spend $100 at Altenew in the next year, go ahead and buy yourself a $100 gift card and get a $10 free. Or buy it for a mother in your life or whatever. So Jan, did she put the code in there again? I don't know the code off the top of my head. I know Jan. So hey Rachel, could you put the code back in? Let's see if she's here. If not, Jan, I promise I'm going to get on the replay and I will put it on the pinned comment as soon as I'm done. I'll also send it out in my email newsletter tomorrow with the code just to remind you. I think it is, I'm sorry, I'm seeing if Rachel's still here. Rachel might have had to step out, so I'm sorry about that code. I will get it in the pinned comment. Give me 5 minutes, but it's, I think it's Nicki Live 7, but I can't be 100% sure. So let me put the code in there that automatically adds it to your cart. Just give me about 5 minutes and it'll be in the pinned comment on the replay, okay? Did Rachel go? Oh, Rachel had to leave. Okay, so Rachel had to leave, so I don't have anybody putting codes in there. I'm so sorry. I think it's Nicki Live 7. Can somebody in the chat, if you see what the code is, can you put it down there for Jan Castle? But I will also put it in the replay on the pinned comment. So let me hold these up closer to the camera one more time. If you hadn't voted, make sure you vote. And then I hope to see you again on my channel really soon. Make sure you've hit the thumbs up and you have subscribed to my channel. Oh, thank you, Joyce. That's it. Okay, so it's Nicki Live 7, but please, when you say Nicki Live 7, make sure that you use my Altenew code to get there. So make sure you can put that in the coupon code, but make sure you use my affiliate link. If you don't know how to do that, you just need to grab a supply, something that I have linked to Altenew that gives me credit for that sale, and that's very helpful for Altenew knowing that giving you coupons is helping and all that stuff. So just make sure that you use my affiliate link. It should be in the chat somewhere, but it will also be in the pinned comment, okay? So make sure you do not purchase until you've used my affiliate link. You can even click out of your window at Altenew, click on my link, and click back in, and it'll all be there. It usually saves your cart. Okay, I had a lot of fun with you today. I hope all of you that are moms or moms at heart have a wonderful Mother's Day and get some crafting done, and I hope you get some crafty goodies. Thank you so much, Tony. Thanks so much. I'm going to pop back in just to answer any last minute questions. Let me take my face out of here. Anything else? Yeah, you got the code. Okay, good. So we did it. 3 cards. We did 1 with the cover plate, just regular. We did 1 shaker card. And we did 1 where we embossed that cover plate. Gosh, I love how that looks in that camera. Okay. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you soon. Have a great day. Hope to see you on my channel soon. If you want to get notified when I'm going live and when I have videos, make sure you join my newsletter list, which will also be linked in the description of this video. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.